Welcome to the dark side. I'm Rebecca Lieb.
I'm Jason Horton.
And this is Ghost Town.
Holiday Special, starring Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, Harrison Ford as Han Solo, Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia, with Anthony Daniels as C-3PO, Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca, R2-D2 as R2-D2, and James Earl Jones as the voice of Darth Vader. Introducing Chewbacca's family. His wife, Mala. His father, Itchy. His son, Lumpy. With special guest stars, Beatrice Arthur, Art Carney, Diane Carroll, the Jefferson Starship, Harvey Korman, and an animated Star Wars story on the Star Wars Holiday Special.
In the vast universe of Star Wars lore, there exists a celestial black hole, a creation so ill-fated and peculiar it has become the stuff of legends. Enter the Star Wars Holiday Special, a televised catastrophe that unfolded on screens across the galaxy only once, on November 17th, 1978. Intended to capitalize on the triumph of the original Star Wars film, this festive foray into the Wookiee celebration of Life Day left audiences cringing and scratching their heads. We're talking about the Star Wars Holiday Special, which we've talked about once before years ago.
Yeah.
It has been revisited, a couple little tidbits.
Hell yeah.
And it bears repeating.
Oh, I don't care how many times you have or haven't seen the Star Wars Special. Whenever you lay your eyes on it again, you will find new things, new disturbing things, new nonsensical moments of this fucking special that is beyond Star Wars itself. The most bizarre Christmas special I have ever seen.
And in the 70s, it was meant to be weird.
Yeah.
Variety shows were weird. Every popular TV show, Brady Bunch had a variety show.
Totally.
Donnie and Marie had a variety. Everyone had a Sonny and Cher. It was very easy to do it right.
Yeah.
And whatever that is. They did it pretty wrong.
Wrong as hell. I would say the wrongest, if that's even possible.
At the heart of the debacle was the attempt to center the special around Chewbacca and his family and the observance of Life Day. This decision, while potentially endearing, backfired spectacularly. The extended sequences featuring Chewbacca's family, Mala, Itchy, and Lumpy.
God.
Not even a thought of the names. Not even a thought.
What are we doing here, people?
Proved to be awkward, cringeworthy, and far removed from the charm of the original characters. It even comes complete, and this, I would say, is the centerpiece, the gem of how weird this is. There's a scene where Chewbacca's father is watching softcore adult film on a VR headset.
Oh my God.
It's out of nowhere. It's so weird. Another thing that's also very strange about this is look at any picture of Mark Hamill, please Luke Skywalker, in this. It is jarring. And people have questioned what is the deal with Mark Hamill's look in this. I know it's not cool to focus on the way they look, but it is really striking and really bizarre.
I just had to go look it up. Okay, I remember it vaguely, but it's like AI took over
Yeah.
Mark Hamill. Very strange. And I think he's a very good actor, and I think he does a really great job, and I think he has a lot of job to do just being the centerpiece of the Star Wars franchise at this time. But he looks like he's like a Hamill Mia Farrow bot.
We'll get into some of the theories of why he looks so starkly different than he does in the movies after this break. What people notice about Mark Hamill's appearance is that he looked different, and one of the reasons allegedly was he had gotten into a pretty bad car accident. I think it's after filming Star Wars, and I think it looks a little different in Empire Strikes Back. And I think people say, oh, he had all this reconstructive surgery, but apparently that's not true. He did have a broken nose, so his nose looks a little bit different. And something that people have said, which I think makes a lot of sense, is beside the camera they use, is that the makeup they used wasn't like a film and TV makeup. It was more of a stage makeup. And if you see a stage actor very close up, it is like almost like a pancake makeup.
Yeah.
And I think that is a lot of what it is.
That makes more sense. And also, I just want to add on to that, the lighting in Star Wars and the lighting in this Christmas special are like, could not be more different. Again, I work in TV and I know the power that lighting can have, and set deck, set dress as a whole, and how different that can make someone look. So that, coupled with very different makeup, will give you a very different kind of performative, like old-timey theater kind of appearance. And he looks like very nymph-like, and it's just different. It's just different than he is as Luke Skywalker, and that's going to be in any project that he does, but specifically this highly stylized, perverse Christmas special.
The special's descent into infamy deepened with perplexing musical interludes, including a performance by Jefferson Starship
Hell yeah.
that left fans scratching their heads. To compound matters, an animated segment featuring the main characters in a vastly different animation style further alienated the audience. Perhaps the final nail on the proverbial coffin was George Lucas's swift disavowal of the special. He was like, I'm not. And they did a lot with Star Wars, especially back then. They had the Muppets, and they did some things that worked, and almost nothing was sacred when it came to Star Wars. It was very exploitive.
Exactly.
But this was like, he was like, nah. I think George Lucas's lack of stamp of approval helped kind of perpetuate the fact that this is not a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's almost like, and this is probably a bad comparison, but like, if like Barbie came out with some, even tonally that's more similar, and Mattel was like, we hate this. Mattel, hyper merchandising entity, obviously wanted to make as much money off of this movie. But again, Star Wars, the same thing, super hyper merched, and they were like, absolutely not with this special. So if Mattel was like, absolutely not, you're like, oh, this is a thing. This is a thing.
It could turn people away from it and leave it with a kind of like, maybe this is not for me.
Yeah, especially with such a dedicated audience.
That's what even kept the availability limited to it, because of how much Lucas would let it be played or replayed or whatever. So I think that, and then it adds to the lore.
Yeah, it absolutely does. It adds to the intrigue. Certainly hearing that something should not be out there or was not supported by its original creator as a branch of this thing, Star Wars, is sexy, kind of sexy to me. I don't know.
Despite its undeniable failure, the Star Wars Holiday Special has managed to carve out a peculiar niche in Star Wars fandom. Some fans, in a twisted sense of nostalgia, appreciate the special for its unintentional humor and a testament to the risks of deviating too far from the essence of a beloved franchise. There's a documentary about the making of it called A Disturbance in the Force that actually premiered at South by Southwest earlier this year. So check that out. I don't know when it's available because it's a few months ago.
It should be available on Christmas if I have anything to do with it, which I don't.
Someone asked Mark Hamill what was his favorite part of the holiday special, and he replied, quote, "The end credits."